What is up, you beautiful, beautiful gamers, and welcome back to Role-Playing James, this merry code in the internet where we sometimes like to, maybe, talk about video games. Today, oh boy, Souls music to my goddamn eyes, because like always, I am a huge Dark Souls fanboy, everything related to Souls-like. And a while ago, some days ago, there was made public a new trailer for that beautiful, sexy ass of a game that we know for the game of Black Myth Wukong. Let's talk about that thing. Something that I found like really cool is that the reception that the developers got from the gamers, both from gamers and industry alike. Something interesting is that they came out and say that when they made public the very first trailer, the demo trailer that they made on that mountain level, they weren't expecting the gamers and industry alike to have so much acceptance, and that the intention that they have for making that game, like that gameplay, public is that they wanted to recruit some talent, some manpower to develop the game and to have like a little bit more people working, because they're quite a small studio, contrary to what you might believe. They're quite of like an indie studio. But nevertheless, let's talk about this thing. Let's talk about the developers. Let's talk about the story and what we know so far about the game. Yeah, let's get into the matter, right? This beautiful game is being developed by Big Science Interactive, contrary, like I mentioned before, to what you may think by gazing at those gorgeous trailers and gameplay trailers as well. They're really a small indie studio striving to develop a AAA quality single-player action-adventure game. Initially, there were only 13 people working on the game, and 30 by August 2020, and they're still hiring talent to continue development, which is set by the developers to aim for a 2023 release. One important thing that I like to point out in here, that I think it's just goddamn amazing, that apart from the really well reception that they got from this very first trailer, is that the developers came out and say that they are not... Well, yeah, take this with a grain of salt. There's a whole lot of hype for this game right now, but at least by word from the developers, they are not a company that chases trends. They focus themselves on providing an experience, a single-player experience that gamers can enjoy by just loving the game on what like the developers have been creating. In a modern world, in the modern industry that we have right now, we have so many companies chasing trends, copying whatever's popular. This is quite like contradictory, because we have like this Souls-like kind of gameplay style. Maybe they are chasing Souls-like formula, but that's just because that's the core essence of the developers, at least from the word that we have right now from them. They are not like trying to hop on the trend train and get some cashes, some money, some monedas, like I always say, by making this game. I think that there's promise, at least with this. On the story department, the game will be focused on Chinese mythology, especially that of Journey to the West, which is one of the bigger banners of Chinese literature. If you're a fan of Dynasty Warriors, which is based on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, another of the pillars of the Chinese literature novels, well, Journey to the West alongside it are some of the most important pieces of Chinese literature. I can't stress enough how much I recommend you to read it if you have the chance. Although they did say in an interview that they will be taking some liberties around here and there in the mythology cosmology of the game. There will be some reimagination of aspects for the mythology of the game. Now, the credentials that we have from these guys are, at least to say the least, promising. Originally, the developers of Wukong Black Myth were already working on a title based on the classic Journey to the West, which is an MMO, or was an MMO by the name of Asura, under the wing of Tencent, developers of the critically acclaimed and damn gorgeous of a game, if you ask me, you may know for the title of Warframe. But ultimately, Asura didn't turn out as good as they hoped to. Most of the developers at Game Science are talents from the original Asura project back at Tencent. The art director is Yang Kui, pardon me for murdering these names. Please bear with me, please. He's the co-founder of the company, and the main founder of the company is Feng Yi. They also work, both of them, at Asura back in the day. I'll have some artworks around here so you can see a little bit more or less what kind of enemies and places can you expect from the game. Although I'll have a link in the video description so you can check out his work at ArtStation by yourself, since, believe me, there's lots and lots and lots of pictures right there. Yes, this game is actually from credentials and track records of people that worked originally on a game that was supposed to be an MMO. Also, we do have the credentials, we have developed the games from them. And this is where it gets tricky, it's just, don't mind me, I'm always skeptical when we talk about mobile gaming. Mobile games are not bad at all. I mean, there's Genshin Impact out there. I think that Black Desert is doing like quite fine, quite okay on the mobile market. There are some companies that take different approaches on the industry that are like to be skeptical about. For example, there are companies that start to develop in mobile engines or for mobile markets, and then they try to make the jump onto the generation of consoles and stuff like that, and they implement stuff that they thought that they worked alright for the mobile but don't actually work. It's just a clusterfuck of stuff that could be mentioned in here, should be taken into consideration as well. But at least what settles my mind a little bit, like I said, don't mind me that much, but what settles my mind a little bit is that they approach the market of the mobile gaming just as a means to an end. Right now they have published small games, like I mentioned before, which was a market they approached only to be able to make their dream come true, the AAA single player game they wanted to make from the very beginning. By 2017 they felt comfortable enough to move on to the AAA premium game scene, and Wukong is the baby in the womb that was shown with that ultrasound that allowed us to see this magnificent and promising looking game. Apparently, when they made public, like I mentioned before, the first trailer, they weren't expecting to have so much an overwhelmingly positive reception from gamers and industry workers alike. And one thing that I personally find to be so full of promise is the professionality and transparency they handle their marketing. Remember that first Halo Infinite and Greek meme trailer? That was called out by the fans. It was called out from a company that was pretending that everything was okay. I'm not bashing on them, just mentioning and stating the fact to say that it happened the other way around in here. All of us were dropping our jaws in excitement, dude, as we saw that gorgeous looking game, and the developers came out and say they still needed to work some facial animations that were kind of rough, as well as the interaction of characters and environments. They said that the game is still rough around the edges, that they are aware of it, and that they will be addressing it as well during the development process. This time around, gamers weren't the ones to point this out. Furthermore than that, the gameplay trailer in the mountain level, where you see the player shape into different forms and tackles of gameplay, that was an actual playable demo. It wasn't CGI'd in any way. That was reported as well by IGN, who had a chance to try the game firsthand. Dude, the reception for this game was so goddamn amazing that there are some developers like they wanted to hire more manpower to be able to develop this beautiful jewel, but they weren't expecting the flood of job applications that they have. They even stated in interviews that job applications were like just showering in the office, so that human resources department wasn't able to keep up as to how to handle this stuff. There are some senior veteran developers that were like, dude, I don't care if I want to take care of the documents to make a visa and stay like over there. Just allow me to make the game, allow me to work in this thing. I'll pay you, please let me work with you. That's like the reaction that they have. And on top of all that, the CEO of the company, Feng Yi, was like, alright, everybody, calm the fuck down. We got this, keep working, don't pressure yourselves, it's alright. I got your backs, I know you got mine. And they even stated that they have like free lunch at the office, that everything is just merry, all and happy and beautiful in this company. We don't have like any preoccupant statements about mishandling of the company, that the developers respect the director, and the director is out there giving the face for everything and orchestrating this beautiful ass of a game. So yes, I know there is a whole lot of hype. I sound hyped as well, but I think there's reason to be about this one. Finally, but not least, hoping here that they manage to survive the hype and deliver some more of that Souls love for us Souls itching hollows. Fengyi said that they're hoping to build this IP in a direction where they can produce many more games under the same universe, which I can't stress enough again. If you get a chance, please go read Journey to the West. Hell yeah, please keep on coming, keep on flowing and coming. I hope that this game does well, because I'm always happy when we get new IPs to play on. But yeah, that's pretty much everything from me, guys. Do let me know in the comments below what do you think about this game. What do you think about all of this info? Are you excited about this new upcoming action adventure game, which seems to be, at least at first sight, a Souls-like? With that being said, I'll see you beautiful gamers in the next one. Stay safe, stay awesome. I'll see you later.